When it comes to social anxiety, one thing I would say is don't take yourself too seriously. I think oftentimes we are sort of blowing things out of proportion, thinking that there's some spotlight on us, when the truth is, people are concerned more about themselves, how they look to you, how they sound to you, what you think of them. So, really, when it feels like there's a spotlight on you, it's actually not on you. So it's important when you're in a social setting to not take things too seriously. Don't assume everyone's looking at you. You need to say the perfect thing. You need to say the right thing. One thing I've noticed from being on this planet for, 4 decades, 4.5 decades, is that people love talking about themselves. I remember sitting next to a gentleman on a flight. I was asking questions about his life, and he showed me a bunch of photos, and he was telling me all these stories, and I was really curious and interested to learn more about him. And at the end of the flight, he said it was one of the best flights he's ever been on, and that I was such a great conversationalist. But the truth is, he did most of the talking. I was just curious and listening and interested in him. So another tip that I would offer you is and this isn't mine, I didn't make this up, but be interested. Instead of worrying about becoming interesting and having all the right things to say and the look and everything, become interested in others. Because when other people talk about themselves, they actually feel closer to you. So you don't even need to perform or come up with the right thing to say. Just be interested in others. Another thing with social anxiety is maybe you don't have to do a lot of talking. If you walk into a party, just walk in with your shoulders back, which is something I have to work on, and just an open face, like not looking down, not looking at your phone. That's a sign of insecurity, but actually looking up. Get used to looking up, making eye contact with people. You could do a little nod. I'm not suggesting that you walk in like, "Hi, everyone. My name's Robin." But if you walk into a room and you don't know anyone, stand tall, shoulders back, be ready to make eye contact and a little nod or a smirk. It shows confidence. It shows that you're not taking yourself too seriously, because the truth is, everyone's worried about themselves, how they look to others. Another thing I mentioned is not blowing things out of proportion, because the truth is, this social event that you're going to, it's not career or life changing. It's not life or death. You're gonna go to a party, you might meet some people, you walk into a classroom, new semester. It's nothing crazy. Is this gonna matter in 5 years from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 days from now? If this is not even going to matter in the future, it really doesn't need to hold so much pressure. A lot of times it's our own mind and our own thoughts that's blowing things out of proportion. You can just walk in and just be normal. Just be, okay, normal's not the right word, but just walk in knowing that you have every right to be there. That's why you're there. This is a party. I'm still new at this. I don't have to be perfect. I can try new things. When I was younger, I was so embarrassed by my poor athletic ability that I would skip gym class when I knew everybody was playing volleyball, because I was so terrible at volleyball. I just didn't want to make my team lose, whichever team was stuck with me. So instead I skipped the class completely. But what I should have done is just go be terrible and either learn to be better, or B, just try, and who cares anyway. There's a lot of things in life that as you get older, you're gonna realize that you're either naturally good at, you need to work at, or you just don't like. But the truth is, you'll never know unless you try. So putting yourselves in situations where you know you're not good at something and still doing it anyway, that's a true mark of confidence. And that's something that I didn't have when I was in high school. And it held me back. So I love the idea of now being a 45-year-old with the chance that some young teenager might happen to see this vlog or happen to see this clip. And I can remind you, don't take yourself too seriously. None of this is gonna matter in the future. No one's thinking about you anyway. and just learn to be curious and open to new things. That's the most confident thing that you can ever bring to any situation. You don't need to sell yourself. You don't need to talk about all the great things you're doing, what you're working on, how much you bench, how great you are at things. Again, it doesn't matter. People who do all the talking about that stuff, it's actually more evident in the way you treat people. Like, are you kind? Are you warm? Are you approachable? Those are the things that really matter with other humans, not how many goals you can get in a game. Like, that stuff's great in the moment, but the long term, what people are really going to remember you is how kind you were, how warm you were. So really focus on those intrinsic skills. Be easygoing, be curious, not this I know it all attitude that sometimes happens with teenagers. I mean, I know from personal experience. Just knowing that, hey, I'm a good person, I'm a kind guy, I don't want to see anyone fail or fall or hurt themselves. That in and of itself is a beautiful characteristic. So if you can really hang on to just knowing that you have good intentions and let that be enough for you, you don't have to have everything all figured out to add value. You are valuable just the way you are. You don't have to do anything differently. I think that's really important to remember. And always give yourself an exit plan. If you go to a party and you're not feeling it, that's okay. You don't have to stay there. You can check out. Sometimes you can even leave without telling anybody. I mean, we do that as grown-ups. You might want to tell your friend, who you went to the party with. You can't just leave them there. Have an exit plan. Hey, I got to be home at a certain time. I got to wake up tomorrow morning to do something, or, my parents are expecting me back. I got to take care of something at home. Have a plan in advance on how you can get out of there when you want to. Something simple. It doesn't have to be some extravagant story, but if you have that in your back pocket and you're in a moment or the conversation's finished, you don't have to keep it going. You say, hey, it was nice talking to you. I'll see you around. Or, hey, thanks for the chat. Enjoy the rest of your night. It's okay. You don't have to stay there. If it starts getting awkward and silent, maybe that's your cue that the conversation's expired, and that's okay. You don't have to talk forever. But definitely promise me you won't take things personally. In life, one thing I've noticed much more than one thing, but what I've noticed about life is these challenges or awkward situations or these things that come up in life, they truly are meant to teach you something. And maybe the next awkward situation you find yourself in will actually lead you to the next thing you want to work on. You feel like you have social anxiety, maybe you've heard of it, and it's something that you think you might suffer from, just remember that you have so much power over your own mind and your own thoughts. And oftentimes it's our own thoughts that give us this anxiety. So if you can start controlling the way you think, redirect your thoughts, go for a walk outside, take a few deep breaths. There are experts online that you can learn from. So instead of doom scrolling or instead of brain rot, learn about the subject, and I promise you, you'll feel more empowered.